right in there. Adam Johnston, Matt Moe.
Come on.
Gavin's got a scratching, I see. Okay.
So welcome to the Bungalow crits here in Cairns. Here's just some of the information. Average speed just under 40k an hour, and this was actually my first CAT2 race I've ever done. So if you've seen my last video, it was my first CAT3 race. I still think I'm more of a CAT3 racer, but yeah, this is the first lap. And the first thing I realized when I started this was I was literally screwed. I knew in my mind I was already in way over my head. These guys were doing, I think, 50k an hour on the first lap. I know, and I've heard from other riders that what they usually do is they go a bit faster in the beginning and it tapers off, and then obviously it goes faster at the end again. But here we are on lap 3. I don't know if you guys noticed, the guy in front of me, number 23 here, he actually dropped his train on the very first lap. So luckily the marshals let him back in, and this was the first race we ever raced together. We study at the same uni, so I guess cycling became our new friendship kind of thing. Our goal for this race was essentially him trying to get me to the end and me trying to fight for the sprint, because I am a bit heavier of a cyclist compared to these guys, but you guys will figure out what happens in a little bit. Alright, so one thing for sure is, I don't know if you guys can tell, I am definitely one of the weaker ones in this field. Look how strung out this field is. I reckon 1, 2, I think there's like 20 odd guys in front of me, and look at me leaving all this space. Like, I should be glued to his wheel. So obviously there's a lot of mistakes when you can look back, but wow, I didn't realize that I was wasting so much energy. Here it doesn't look like it, but I am hammering. Like, I feel like I'm taking out so much energy just to hold a wheel. And okay, this is about 10 laps in, and this is when I'm talking with Matt. Essentially he and I are talking about, like, you know, just be calm, take your time. And obviously I told him, like, yeah, it's fine, but in the back of my head I knew I was screwed. And here we go again. Look at me wasting so much of this energy. Why am I not closing the gap? Close the gap. Okay, close the gap. I should be glued to this wheel. Number 1 rule, glue to the wheel like a bunch of grapes. And I'm probably putting in, I don't know, 400 watts just to catch up to this group. 500 watts. Definitely not something you want to do. If you feel like you're already wasting energy and you're in a field that you're not comfortable with, you should not be leaving all this gap. Why am I still leaving a gap? I should be glued. Come on, Matt. What are you doing? Anyway, this guy in front of me, he's quite a strong rider. I don't know if he actually finished the race, but there were a couple people that dropped off at the very end, and I have to say, like, obviously this is my first CAT2 field, and I don't know what it's really like, but it just felt like everybody here was so on it. And yeah, so moving on, this is now lap 2, like the final, second last lap, sorry. And you see on the right hand there, so if you look at that guy on the very right hand, he looks at me, pats on the back, and that's Matt. So he's telling me essentially to get on his wheel. The issue here is the strategy is good. My physicality is not. So I'm essentially, we have this plan where he's gonna help me get to the final so I can at least fight for the sprint. And man, he turns this corner and my heart rate is at almost like 200. It feels like I have chest palpitations. I'm literally gonna die. I'm dyspneic. This is just terrible. So look at these guys. Everybody is hauling ass. They are throwing themselves into this bike. And next thing you know, now on the final lap, I get dropped. Yes, my very first CAT2 race, and I get dropped. But you know what? It was pretty fun. You can hear me breathing here. Oh, just looking back, it's so funny because there were a couple things that I could have done, but in that moment, I just felt like I was scrambling to catch my breath the whole time, and this was kind of like the cool down lap after the race. So definitely finished bottom of the field. Um, but hey, I'm pretty happy. First CAT2 race. This is a very short course, so lots of punchy sprints. Had a little conversation with them after. So yeah, just told them how terrible I felt, but hope you guys liked the video and watch out for my next racing video. Thanks.